And all greetings, this is Gillesmansillon. I thought I'd come and say hello, wish you a good day. Today I feel a lot better. Spirit is telling me that I have to trust more, to no matter what the outside circumstances are, I have to keep staying into this central position of stability, of joy, of bliss, no matter what the situation is. So sometimes I have a tendency to let myself be shaken by the negative things that may come to me in the outside world. The situation is very difficult at this time, but it should be changing with the Saturn is right now, it's been retrograding. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the Lord of Time, is stationary, and it's going to move forward. So it's going to assist us. It's going to let go a little bit on this drama, or this karma, or those potentials that are more difficult to address. And so we have to understand this karmic wheel. This, for a very long time, I'm here to address transcendental psychology, those things of the spirit realm, of the ascension potential. For those who are new to my channel, welcome. To speak of the karmic wheel, for those who believe in those things, is that this karmic wheel is that once we live a life, and then we have to balance out whatever we've done in any one life. And for a very long time, there was a group of strong people that would oppress all the weak people in the world. It's this principle of Darwinian psychology. The strong will eat up the weak, survival of the fittest. And so, but what they do not understand, because every time we come here into reincarnation, we forget all of our past life, but unconsciously we still have the frequency of all those things that happened before, is that the weaks are become the strong, and the strong have become the weaks. Every time there is a switch. But since the weak have become strong, and they remember unconsciously that those who are weak now have oppressed them in the past life, they find it justified to oppress them in their turn. And so the wheel continue to turn into this endless cycle of drama and oppression, so until the time there is a release, there is a forgiveness, there is an understanding, and the balance is found, and then we do no longer have to become part of this dualistic process that is self-inflicted process of pain and misery that has been going on in this planet. We pray for the liberation of the world, for there is only one soul. So if there is one soul, we are all that is. So if we have all that is, we have to accept that we have the inner Christ, we have the inner Buddhas, but we also have the inner Hitlers or Stalins or dictators. We have all the gods and all the demons within ourselves as well. It is just which energy do we draw upon? How do we balance it all out? Yet each soul is only responsible for his own deed. So no matter what it is, it's only our thoughts, our words, and our actions that we are responsible for. And each God respect the fact that each soul is a self-created being. For I'm trying not to just have to stop complaining about my life and start creating and to apply my own teachings. It's like sometimes it's not easy to, because we create those things that we see a life, certain condition of our life that we do not like, so we change inside. But with the change inside, we have to hold it long enough to make the manifestation unfold and happen, because we create those conditions, and then we hold on and we hold on and we hold on, and nothing happens. So we have a tendency to be distracted by the fact that the manifestation, life has not changed right away. It takes a while for the fourth dimensional projection of our conditional emotional condition to align and to manifest outside. But the law of attraction is just as viable as the law of gravitation. It is it's just a matter of holding on long enough to that feeling to make so the transformation can happen. It's not easy to understand what God is doing, what it does, what life is the way it is. Because God loves everybody equally, but it gives more to some and less to others, as it is said in the Quran. We have to accept that, and there are karmic conditions, and everybody's learning different lessons. We are all being tested in a different way. For God is enjoying his own process, but he's always infinite love, infinite power, and infinite wisdom. Yet he doesn't work for one individual, one planet, one time. He works for all beings in all time, in all planets. So sometimes there are certain things that serves the higher will we do not understand. We have to accept it. Like, why would the Christ be crucified? He was the most advanced human beings that ever incarnated on the planet, the most loving beings, and yet he had to go through this terrible a tragic ending, and it did not change his immortality, his love, and his transcendence. So you can even call, it's very useful to call on the Christ, to call on Michael, to call on Joshua, to call on Sananda, no matter how we call him, to be walking with you. He will assist you in every pass, every step of the way. Yet we have to, it is kind of difficult to understand how God will, like once again in the Quran, Allah says, if God didn't want the Christ to be crucified, he would have not been crucified. So it must have served a universal purpose for that experience to happen. For it was the age of the Pisces. Now we're moving to a new age. For the Christ, there was his first personal individual incarnation, as far as I know, in this incarnation. So he didn't have any karma also, but he didn't believe in karma. He didn't believe in astrology. He didn't believe in reincarnation. So Christ had limitation. Yet notwithstanding those limitations, he came to us to show the highest example of being as a human, to be the most divine in the human's form, and we want to emulate the Christ as much as possible, not to worship him, but to emulate, to become like him, for he wants to give us this power of unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and embracing the unity with our divinity. For that is our true mission, is a brother before anything else, and a friend, a good friend. Best friend. So I'm going to pull a few cards to look at the chakras alignment today of the Casanova deck, Casanova Tarot. Well, it's less a little bit of challenging too, as like like in the French reading. At the base, at the root, is the Hermit. The Hermit is the way through. It is the ability to stand, to walk alone, to hold the light of truth, to enlighten the past, to seek. The Hermit is the seeker, and as we seek, we will find. What we see in a navel, the earth plane, is love, unconditional love. It is the source of love. We are the source of love. It is all manifestable, seeingable, perceivable on the earth plane, which is wonderful. For we want the world to be inundated with love, so that people become aware of their own divinity, and things will turn out, will accelerate the process of balancing out and the restoration of the planet. What we have in the earth, in the solar plexus, is the queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is the card of abundance. It's a card of success. It's a card of wealth. It's a card of riches. What we have in our solar, in our heart chakra, which is governed by the sun, is the Knight of Cup, the Knave of Cup, of Chalice. Yeah. For it is about unconditional love. It is about being to be able to love without attachment. What we communicate is the chariot. It's the vehicle. It's moving forward towards success, towards recognition, towards acceptation. What we see in our third eye is the moon. The moon controls the emotion. It is also the test. It is the opposing force to the sun, in some sense. It is the feminine that is mirroring the masculine. But it is also a force of liberation. We have to find a way to utilize our emotion, to find our freedom, to accept the test as it is. Sometimes I feel I'm failing some of the tests, and sometimes I'm succeeding in some of my tests, for we are all tested differently, because we're all on different paths with different level, but the idea is to find the freedom at the end. What we see in our crown, what crowns us, is the Knave of Sword. It is about someone who wants to break free from the box, but when we break free from the box, we have to move out of the box, otherwise the roof will fall on our head. So it's about breaking free and moving forward in the same time. What we have in our soul, in our Earth Star chakra, is the Four of Cups, Four of Chalice. It's the moon in Cancer. It's about not allowing our emotion to be too overwhelming, to breathe and to keep things into balance. And so it's a kind of luxury. If it's taken too far, it can lead to disappointment. can be led to disappointment, expectations that are not met. What are the disappointment about? It's about the King of Cup, the King of Chalice. And here, so the King of Chalice is the ability to live in grace, to find the perfect relationship, to be the unfoldment of love. What we've learned is the hangman, to let go of those things that no longer works. And we can prevent the disappointment by the Knight of Swords, to expand our intuition, to let go of our small self and move into our greater self. What's in the Soul Star is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a delicate card. It's asking us to let go of regret, of fear, of anything that is negative, to ask the angels and the archangels and the masters to assist us in liberating that, not to focus on positive outcome and not to give power on to nourish thoughts that may be negative. As we do that, we will find strength, we'll find love, we'll find the power of the heart. And it is the lotus flower, the cause and the effect that comes together, the great deal of heart opening that will come when we are able to liberate some of these old energies that may still be part of our mental process, to let go of the mental. For we are preparing ourselves for something, but we do not know what. We do not know what will be the ascension process. But our higher self already knows that. For God keeps the future a mystery. It reveals certain things, certain elements, but for God, the future, the past, present, and future are one. They're already happening. But for us, it's very different. What's manifested and what is to come are different energies. Yet God is the future. God is the mystery. For life is eternal because God is eternal. Otherwise, God is the eternity of God that guarantees the eternity of life in so many ways. For life, death is just an illusion. It's a portal we need to go through. As a mortal, we all have to go through that portal, but there is nothing to fear about death. It will be a release from all limitation and separation, and it's like a break. We find a way we'll be able to rest up a little bit when after in between lives we're always able to rest up. Not to say not to enjoy. We have to enjoy our life while we're here. Yet the separation is. The separation from the one is very unenjoyable. It's very painful when we choose to participate in this experience of separation. Yet, even though it's a very short time in eternity, this time of separation, the more we are become enlightened, the more we feel we want to reconnect to the one. We want to reconnect this flow of energy between the God and ourselves. For we have to accept that we live in darkness, that we have to pass through the door in order to find the light, and then we'll find the eternal salvation. But until then, we have to accept that it is darkest. It gets darker and darker until we find this light. I'm going to pull a few cards. Because I know we want to blend in the yin and the yang to understand that life is made of opposite. Everything is contradicting and opposing itself. God is all energy. The life is all energy. The projection. So it's not easy to understand why things are happening. Sometimes we want to let go of the why because it's like we cannot really fathom that. We want to bring things into balance. I know in my original state, before I came into this reality, I was completely whole. I was indivisible. There was no yin and yang. I was completely. I am still eternally one and whole in my original, in my station of origin. It's just a projection of my consciousness that I'm through in the universe, and there's still a great mystery in this term of projection about how we became yin and yang. We became two parts, one that became two. For one becomes two in order to become more, and then eventually we'll return to three, return to one, and then we'll find the eternal balance in this mind, body, spirit. But yet in this physical universe, we want to find the complement, a person that complements us, our soulmate, our soul twin. So they will assist us in finding this balance, and there's a great deal of potential for that to come, to find this peace of mind, this stability, this love. I'm going to pull a few cards. The highest wisdom is galactic today. What we need to understand is man-woman, is the integration of the duality, the polarity within ourselves. What we need to do is the orphan. we need to accept the separation, yet we have to seek out the return and in order to do that we have to look for health. We have to find all the things that make us more healthy, will reconnect us, and the outcome is the scribe or the writer. So we want to take notes and continue to note on our experiences. And so I pulled a song, but I didn't have a chance to think about one, so I pulled one by chance, and it's a song that first this is my portrait of Salvador Dali. It's almost done, I think. It's kind of nice. It's just small portraits. And his astrology is kind of interesting because this is astrology here. His sign is, he was Taurus with an ascendant in Cancer. But what's most interesting about the astrology of Dali is that he's got many planets on the crest, in between two constellations. Like he's got Uranus between Capricorn and Aquarius. He's got his North Node between Libra and Virgo. He's got Mercury. It's not Mercury. It's Venus between Gemini and Cancer. So it's like his ascendant between Leo and Cancer. It was very amazing. I was looking at this chart, and it's got all those planets just on the line that separates the constellation. Well, it was very, very exuberant. Dali was very exuberant. And this is a portrait of my mother and a friend of hers on the beach. It's a portrait I did for a friend of mine. So this painting is going to go to London. When I have a chance to see him, I will give it to him. And so it's a song that speaks about how much of a difference a day make. Everything can change during one day. It goes like this. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What a difference a day make. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, it's heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day make, and the difference is you. Nice song. I'm getting used. In France we have those new fashion. There is all kinds of, like, fashion is something circular every 20 years or 30 years. We have old fashion that are returning, and I'm getting used to wearing those ties from those very short ties from the 60s and 70s. I thought for a while I was kind of like, I don't really want to. It's like when I grew up in like 70s, 80s, it was only children that used to wear like thin ties, and so I'm not going to wear children clothing. But I'm getting used to it. I'm going to have to live with our time. And it's on France also. I don't know if you have that no matter where I don't know where you're watching those videos from. Let me know where you watch those videos from. It's kind of interesting. It's like there is this fashion with those big beard. There's people that are huge beard. It's like, and I was showing this guy that I know. It's an acquaintance of mine who was working from a farm. And I hadn't seen him for like months, and now he's got those hair and this huge beard. And I said, well, it looks like a Cro-Magnon. It's like, wow, Cro-Magnon man comes to me. And so, but it was cool, so I call him Cro-Magnon. So it was like cuter. It's like, so I'm not gonna hide my face behind a big beard, but I thought, it was like, it's a funny. It was funny, something that was funny that came into my head. So it's like fashion is something interesting. I'm looking forward to maybe to designs, to work in fashion, maybe sometimes. So I have some ideas and thought on that. I'm going to pull one more card. This is the Two of Michael. Everything would be fine if you would take a decision. Do not ask yourself too many questions. Find a compromise. So whatever you decide, just go for it. Do it. Do not hesitate. Once you made a decision, check it out. See what your decision will bring. See how things will unfold. Well, thank you very much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm looking forward to this great deal of change that are afoot, and so we have to trust more and let go, and no matter what happens, is to embrace it with lightness as much as possible, and so that we can focus on those things that are wanted, so they can manifest into our life, and we can create the shift that we are seeking. Thank you very much. Namaste.